This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Hey, it's Trey with Weekly Dose of BS. If you enjoy true crime or history podcasts like we do, Wondery has a new mini-series that you should check out. It's called Death of a Starlet.
It's about Playboy Playmate of the Year Dorothy Stratten. In August of 1980, she was found dead in her home of her estranged husband. Shot in the face at close range, she was just 20 years old, the girl next door with the shy smile and whispery voice, who didn't know her own beauty. But to Hugh Hefner, she was his next Marilyn Monroe. To famed Hollywood film director Peter Bogdanovich, she was his dream starlet. And to her husband, Paul Snider, she was his ticket to fortune and fame. These three ambitious men needed her, and one of them murdered her.
We're about to play you a brief clip from the show, but while you're listening, be sure to subscribe to Death of a Starlet on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or you can binge all 6 episodes right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. Wondery, feel the story.
Death of a Starlet by Hollywood and Crime contains depictions of violence and strong language. Please be advised.
It's Thursday, August 14th, 1980, 11 p.m. Private Detective Mark Goldstein sits alone in his car staring at a nondescript 2-story house on a quiet street in West Los Angeles. The guy who lives in the house hired him to tail his wife. She's having an affair. Passing headlights reflect off the windshield and then fade away. Goldstein unrolls the window and a curl of cigarette smoke spirals into the night. He squints at the 2 cars in front of the house. They've been parked there since noon. The woman he's looking for must be in there. But what are they doing inside? That's the question Goldstein has been asking himself all day. The 2 roommates got back a few hours ago, and it's been completely quiet since then. At 11:30 p.m., Goldstein decides to do something he rarely does. Inside the house, Steve Kushner and his roommate Patty are sprawled out on opposite ends of the couch when they hear the phone ring. Patty answers, then passes it to Steve. Steve Kushner here. Steve doesn't know the caller is sitting in a car just outside the house. Kushner, it's Mark Goldstein. I need to speak to Paul. Is he there? Sorry, I haven't seen him all day. He's got to be in there. I'm looking at his car. Can you check? Kushner sighs, grabs his beer, and walks downstairs to Paul's bedroom. He doesn't come down here often. Paul Snider likes his privacy, and lately Paul's been particularly moody. Kushner feels along the hallway for the light switch and flips it on. The door is closed. He presses his ear to the door. Nothing. Paul? You in there? There's a guy on the phone says he needs to talk to you. It's quiet. Paul? All right, I'm coming in. It takes a moment for his eyes to adjust. When they do, he's not sure what he's looking at. There's blood everywhere. On the wall. On the floor. Kushner's eyes open wide. There are 2 dead bodies, both of them nude. Is that Paul? The face is so mangled he can't tell, and there's a woman lying across the corner of the bed. Her head is almost unrecognizable through the gore. Then he sees the long blonde hair. Oh, God. He turns and bumps into Patty. Jesus, don't go in there. "15 minutes later, Private Detective Mark Goldstein stands in the living room, the phone cradled in the crook of his shoulder while he smokes. Kushner sits on the couch with his head in his hands. The other roommate, Patty, is curled up in an armchair, staring at the TV with vacant eyes. The police are on their way. Goldstein is now waiting to speak to someone else who needs to know what's happened. Finally, he hears the man's voice on the other end. He takes a breath. Mr. Hefner? It's Mark Goldstein. I'm a private detective. I've been working for Paul Snyder. Listen, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Hefner. I'm really sorry. It's about one of your playmates, Dorothy Stratten. When he's done speaking, there's a long pause. Then the line goes dead. Less than 12 hours later, what Goldstein tells Hugh Hefner will be all over the news.
Playboy magazine's 1980 Playmate of the Year has been found shot to death.
What nobody knows yet is why.